spotlights shine them bright. Gonna have a brand new show tonight with glitz and glam on the marquee. Perhaps a Tony nominee. Stars beam brightly, see them glow. Sell out nightly, SRO. It's time to applaud the Broadway beat. Stars beam brightly, see them glow in the footlights of a show. Life is sweet on the world's most famous street.
Tickets, please.
Take a seat
Cue the band.
and have your feet to the rhythm of the Broadway beat. The Broadway beat. Broadway beat.
Hello, I'm Richard Ridge, and welcome to Broadway Beat, our behind-the-scenes look at the very best of what the New York theater has to offer. Well, the Broadway season has come to an end, and that means it's Tony time. The 62nd annual Antoinette Perry Tony Awards, which are given for outstanding excellence in the Broadway theater, will be broadcast live from Radio City Music Hall on Sunday evening, June 15th from 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CBS stations across the country. This week we devote our entire program to catching up with some of this season's nominees.
Curtain on, light the light. You got nothing to hit but the height. You'll be swell, you'll be great. I can tell, just you wait. That lucky star I talk about is there. Honey, everything's coming up. Roses and daffodils, everything's coming up. Sunshine and Santa Claus.
And you'll always be remembered, even if they never see you. And you're listening to drivel.
And you're part of your companion.
And your glasses have a slowly. And your balls beyond endurance.
And the baby has no nappies.
And your slum triangle.
And you are out of all proportion.
And I hate these people.
Never get a breeze up here, and she's up here forever. You cannot run amok up here. You're stuck up here in this boat.
Oh, God, where do I begin, really? I mean, first of all, just to be doing the show here in America, to be bringing it home is really fantastic. And then to be part of an amazing season. You know, it's turned out to be such a strong season, especially for musical revivals. And so, you know, to get recognition from the Drama League, the Drama Desk, you know, the Outer Critics Circle, and now the Tonys. And for me, the fact that the show has got 9 nominations, I find that really moving, and you know, that the show has got recognition in that way. Every member of the creative team, for example, has a nomination. So it's overwhelming, but it means a lot when I think of where we started in a 150-seat theatre in a fringe venue in South London that was really a concrete warehouse. And here we are, you know, at this hullabaloo. It's just fantastic.
What a responsibility, and what a fantastic responsibility to have, because, you know, it's like giving a gift to people. It's extraordinary. It's mad. I'm just so thrilled that I had this extraordinary opportunity to be in the show and to be here doing it. It really is. I mean, I know I've said this to you, but it is every day. It's like, I can't believe this is happening. It's a dream come true, and I'm enjoying every moment of it.
Well, I actually think that is the best part of the experience, this cast. I've been joking that I'm the oldest person in the cast, but frankly, I'm the oldest person anywhere these days. And everybody in the cast has had actually much more experience than I have had, even though they're much younger. Sutton Foster and Roger Bart, Sheila Hensley, and Megan Mullally. Although she hasn't done a lot of Broadway, she's certainly done a lot of work. And so I rely on their strength and their expertise, but more importantly, I rely on the ease with which they work, all of them. And that's not my kind of personality. I'm much more anxious and nervous, and I look around at Sutton and Roger, and they're just calm, and it's in their bones, and a very comforting feeling. I'm going to really miss them if I'm in the show and they leave. I think it'll be very difficult.
My bag goes on, my gloves are on, I get my laundry bag. We're only a week and a half in. I wonder what that is. I'm still running through things in my head, like I don't want to mess up Christine, or things that I'm honestly still running lines in my head. I'm at that stage. So I haven't really gotten to the place of like, I'm backstage, like, trying not to throw up.
I love playing this character. It's a phenomenal character. He's so complex, and it's rich and totally rewarding to play. Hampton's writing is just delightful. He has such a love of language, and the adaptation from this incredible novel into this incredible play is a great piece of work. And I suggest that if people have loved this play, to go and look at the novel, which is just letters, the characters never meet, and then appreciate the work that Christopher has done to bring that into an exciting, lively piece of theatre. I love playing him, and the audience response is just great, because Valmont is mean. He's a mean man. But I chose to play him in this way that is a really playful and good fun. So people kind of don't sort of realize how vile he is. And there comes a point in the evening where you feel people go, oh, no, he's ghastly. But by then you've got them. They're kind of hooked in, and they sort of end up feeling sorry for this ghast. He's a monster, really.
Well, the musical's been a joy, especially with those dancers. I have some of the best dancers in the world, I think. So just to be in a studio with them for hours and hours on end, trying to up the game and trying to create something interesting and different has been a joy. And the nomination means so much. I tell you, it's always such an honor and a thrill, and I can't thank whoever decided this enough.
Verse somehow. I don't have any lines prepared, so I'll make some. We got a lot in common. It reminds me that I came from miles away. We are not stopping. In the heights. Every day, until the day we go from poverty to starting out. In the heights, I've got today. And today's all we got, so we cannot stop. This is our block. In the heights.
Rob Aarons, this young producer, remembered seeing this movie as a kid at his local movie theater and saying, oh, that could have been better. And then, she said, well, I'll do this on Broadway as a Broadway show. And I'm thinking, the next time you see a movie that doesn't work, you can just go to the box office and ask for your money back. You don't have to mount it on Broadway to fix it. So he kind of called me and said, would you do it? And I was like, no, I don't know. It sounds awful. No. And then he just said, you can do whatever you want. Which nobody ever says that. Not even on my wedding night. No, never. But seriously. But he said, and then I wrote it, and then I just thought it would be there's something kind of funny about putting a movie on. Everyone just does these big movies on stage. It's up there with Lost Horizons in terms of things that you would see on stage and go what were they thinking? And what were they thinking was part of the process of going to see a show. And that's what it's been like.
Our cast is unbelievable. I feel like our casting director has the hardest job in the world because these people have to be able to do so much: skate, dance, sing, and roller skate, and be funny. So yeah, and everybody's just a delight and so nice. We have so much fun on that stage. And our audiences love it. Our audiences are part of the show. So I feel like sometimes going to the theater can be a religious experience almost in a way, because we're all one and, laughing at the same time and enjoying things, and it can really lift your spirits. We have so many people who come who say, I'm so sick and this was the best medicine that I could have had. So, that's a reward for us that we get to do that.
George Balanchine calls it bonbons for the audience, and there are tons of bonbons thrown to the audience. Every other second there's a bonbon thrown to the audience, and that, I think, is something I strive to do in my work, is to give them pleasure.
It means a number of things. It means we've been embraced. You know what I mean? It means that this weird thing that we thought was too hip for Broadway or too weird for Broadway, we've been told otherwise. We've been told by the audiences and now by the Tony nominators that, we dig this, we think you're cool, you're welcome, And I used to think that people were lying when they said it's great to just be nominated, but when you get nominated, you realize, wow, it really is great. I mean, those people were telling the truth. It is great. It's wonderful for someone a group of people to say, you've done really well, and especially with a play like this, where it is a hard sell, and it is kind of strange, but at the end of the day, it's a very universal play. You know, it might seem on paper kind of odd, you know, but the subjects, you know, being a parent, being a kid who leaves home, it's a classic story, really. It's a really simple classic story. But, yeah, so it's just amazing.
Well, I knew a couple of her plays before, but I was hardly a Carol Churchill scholar, and I'm still not today. But I love working on this play. I mean, it has innumerable mysteries that are still to be unlocked for us, and we're just in the beginning of the run. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with it as we grow.
I think what's wonderful about this is I think people who would have been hesitant to come see a Latino hip-hop show, what is that? They suddenly hear 13 nominations and they go, okay, well maybe it's okay. Maybe we should go check it out. And as someone who's worked on this show literally since I was 19 years old, I want as many people to see it as possible. So I'm very gratified, and I'm so thrilled that so much of our design team was recognized. That's my favorite part for me, because we're such a tight-knit unit. I don't know where my job ends and another person's job begins, and so it's great that we were all recognized.
Best part of the collaboration was that there was full trust in each other's storytelling abilities. So if we thought the song needed to take off, we knew that the music department was going to take off. If we thought, oh, we need to sizzle this physically, nobody ever questioned. Nobody said, are you sure you can do this, or how are you going to do this? It was just do it, and everybody took the reins and took control of their own department, and all the other departments like cross-germinated everything. Like if I had a great idea, then Alex would come up with a cool drum thing, and it would make my work better, and then I'd one-up that, and we just one-upped each other until the piece just bloomed to life. I mean, there was a day right in the beginning of working where it was all of the Voltron, we call our team the Voltron, around the piano in my studio, and we were laughing and we were finishing each other's sentences, and I just looked around and I was like, I've been in theater for 20 years and I had rarely seen that happen, and I was like, this is a magical group of people, and we're going to be able to create something really great because it's just meant to be. This team was meant to be.
I'd always been a huge fan of the film, and luckily, I could do my own production because I hadn't seen the film in a while, but never had seen the play, and was so taken by this character. And it was a huge challenge for me because I'm not usually cast in roles of vulnerable women. And so it was a challenge for me to find that vulnerability, to find that sort of childlikeness about this character. But it was great fun as well. To be able to sort of let loose and find those extreme differences in my character as opposed to Lola's.
Oh no, it happened immediately. First preview it happened. It was like, wow. Because in order for the show, one of the reasons that the show works so well is when the audience and I acknowledge one another, and I embrace them, and they go, oh, we're yeah, and I'm like, yeah, come on, let's go. And it's wonderful.
I've never heard anything so pathetic. Do everybody a favor and go and live in the West. It's where you belong, you bedwetter. If it wasn't for 11 million Soviet military dead, your little country would be a German province now. And you wouldn't be bellyaching about your socialist right to piss everywhere except in the toilet. You'd be smoke up the chimney.
Come on. What do you have? What do you have?
Now, what do you have?
What do we have?
Now, what do you have?
What do you have?
A pair!
A pair of what?
A pair of two.
A pair of twos? What, you raised it again with a pair of twos?
I enjoy playing. Isn't it worth a go?
Yeah? Well, you did me a huge favor. Why, what do you have, Nicky? Christmas present, gentlemen. First full house of the evening, fives and kings.
Kings and sevens.
Oh, yeah!
Well, I've worked on it for a long time in various countries for nearly 2 years now, and it never ever bores me because it's all about the performers. And I've been incredibly lucky with my New York cast, who are quite wonderful, I think. And it's such a very English thing that we were on a knife edge about whether Americans would really like it. So I couldn't be more thrilled that real comedy transmits wherever you go with it.
It's a dream come true, and to be nominated, to be nominated for a show that it's basically the creative team from Piazza is, if you asked me a year ago if I would never have expected this.
What's been the best part of the experience with working on the show?
Just all the amazing creative minds in that room, and the talent of the caliber of actors that are in there too. Just everyone just in there, getting dirty, and just it was absolutely thrilling, and nothing like I've ever experienced before.
Bloody Mary is a mother who loves her child more than anything in the world, and she doesn't want her child to have the same life that she's had, and she wants her daughter to be taken care of. And she meets this Lieutenant Cable, and she knows that her daughter not only will be taken care of and nurtured by him, but she'll be loved. And if he would just go along with this story, I try every night to get him to see this, and he just won't go there. And then to work on stage, though, with the likes, and I'll start weeping here, with the likes of Kelly O'Hara and Paolo Zott and Danny Burstein, Matthew Morrison. It's like a master class every single time that I show up. Kelly is so brilliant. I had heard so much about her before I got here, and then to actually see what she brings to the role, and the depth and the sweetness and the sincerity and the heart that she brings to this, and then to work with the brilliance of Bart Scher, who has done a production the likes I think no one has ever seen before.
I just was very lucky that I got the role, and because I never really thought I was right for it or that I would get it. And my wife said it to me this morning, you actually got a Tony nomination for this role that you never thought you were right for. And someone said to me, I'm not sure, a good friend of mine said to me, I'm not sure you are right for that role, when I first went in to audition for it. And I thought, well, she's probably right, but I took it as a challenge, to really be different. That's my job, after all, to be as different as I can in each particular role. And I really went for it. And the gods of theater just granted me this wonderful opportunity, and this is beyond. It's lovely.
You know what? I don't really know. It's all new for me, and so I'm experiencing these things for the first time. I am very happy for all that, but I don't really know how to react and know how to experience that. I think I'm going to get used to it very soon. This is the first meeting after the nominations of the Tony nominations, so I am very glad to meet my colleagues. I'm very glad for the show, for the 11 nominations that the show got, and I am extremely honored to be part, of this beautiful show. It's my first musical, my first time on Broadway, and it's my first Tony nomination, so I'm very happy.
It's a relief. Anything can happen with these awards, and I am especially glad that Gypsy was recognized 7 times for Arthur's sake. I'm glad Arthur's nominated, Boyd and Laura, our company. I'm just thrilled to death. I really am.
In this age of reality TV, what is more real than watching a real person with real talent on stage singing their heart out or acting their heart out or dancing only for you? You paid a ticket, you're sitting there, and we're performing for you. To me, that is like the ultimate human collaboration, and that's what's missing when it's just a camera in your face and you have to cry,
A year ago, I was doing Journey's End, and I got a call about, the possibility of doing Gypsy with Patty at City Center that Arthur was directing, and I just really didn't think it was a part I was right for, and I certainly didn't think I'd be any good in it. So I hemmed and hawed, and then I wasn't sure whether Journey's End would prevent, that it would run long enough to prevent me from doing it. So it was kind of up in the air. So it was 3 weeks, a 3-week rehearsal, 3-week run. I really it was more of a lark. In a certain way, I thought, well, God, even if I suck terribly, it's only 3 weeks and we'll be out of there. And then now to have moved to the St. James and to be doing the show with this unbelievably talented company, having been directed by Arthur, and then to be nominated is just, it seems quite unreal.
When you start a show like that, and especially one that's as well put together as that one is, you have these sort of things in the back of your mind. For me, I've always said that the work on stage, working with the other actors, and playing the show for the audience, that's the main reason we're there. That's why we do this stuff, or for me. To be recognized for your work, though, is a great thing. It's a nice feeling. I think the only mitigating circumstance was that I felt disappointed that the show didn't get a little more love yesterday. I thought our show was very overlooked. I felt great for Faith and myself, but it was just hard to believe that we didn't get a little more attention.
I mean, I've been away from Broadway for 6 years. I did Huff out for Showtime in California, and coming back, I really wanted to do something specific, and this was I read this and I went, and John Doyle and Harvey and John Bacchino, and I thought, this is exactly the right thing to come back and do. But Broadway's changing, and I know we're in desperate times. The economy's different, but there needs to be a place for the MoMA as well as Madison Square Garden, and I really want to not lose sight of that. And so I think we all as a cast are just bunkering down because we know our story is really beautiful and people enjoy it, and the word of mouth has been amazing. So
Cortana, light the light. You got nothing to hit but the height. You'll be swell, you'll be great. I can tell, just you wait. That lucky star I talk about is there.